Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Vice President Biden attacking the rich once again. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. First, the stats. There are about 315 million people currently living in the USA, and about 3 million of them are millionaires. That according to a wealth report from Merrill Lynch. So we're not a country dominated by fat cats. The real power in America lies with the working class folks. According to the Spectrum Group, about 30% of millionaires attribute their status to inherited wealth. We're talking the DuPonts, Roosevelts, Kennedys, those folks. So most wealthy Americans are self-made. Therefore, the question becomes, what is the beef from the Obama administration? Why are they trying to demonize Americans like me who have made money the old-fashioned way? We've earned it. Speaking in Ohio yesterday, Vice President Biden once again lashed out.
I resent when they talk about families like mine that I grew up in. I resent the fact that they think we're talking about envy. It's job envy, it's wealth envy. That we don't dream. My mother and father believed that if my brother or sister wanted to be a millionaire, they could be a millionaire. My mother and father dreamed as much as any rich guy dreams. Absolutely. They don't get us. They don't get who we are.
And that's true, Mr. Biden. I don't get you. In fact, I don't know what you're talking about. You came from humble beginnings. You made it big. Same with me. What's the problem? By the way, I give millions to charity. But you, Mr. Vice President, give only nothing, very nearly nothing. I don't get that. Bottom line, this is all a bunch of garbage. The class warfare the Obama administration is peddling is bogus. Wealthy people are not responsible for the bad economy. Bad federal policies and corrupt financial greed heads are responsible. Rich people pay most of the income tax in this country. 50% of the population pays no federal income tax at all. Wealthy people create jobs. The Occupy Wall Street protesters break windows. Are you getting this, Joe? Do I have to come to your lavish house in Delaware and explain it to you man to man? And one more thing. If the Obama administration continues this foolishness, it will get its collective butt kicked next November. Working Americans aren't buying it. Only far-left zealots who want to tear down the capitalistic system are down with Joe Biden's analysis. Finally, my folks didn't have very much, but I never heard them run down rich people. I write my newspaper column about that this week. It is available on BillO'Reilly.com. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction. Joining us from Washington, Fox News analyst, radio talk show star, Laura Ingraham. So, Laura, your mother was a waitress, I understand, until she was in her 70s. Was she
mid-70s.
Was she resentful toward rich people?
Now, my brother and I were talking about this recently, Bill. I have 3 older brothers, and one of my brothers and I were talking about how, look, we didn't have a lot. You know, we were fine. We didn't really go on vacations. We didn't have a lot, but we were middle class. But we never were envious of other people. I mean, it would be nice to go over to friends who had a pool or something. But that would be fun to go to a pool. That's really cool. But there wasn't this sense that he's rich or she's rich or they're rich, so they must have done something to us, or we must feel this sense of jealousy or envy toward them. But the difference today is, and what Joe Biden is purposely ignoring, what they're doing is they're creating envy where there need not be any envy, or they're attempting to create this jealousy or this animosity where there really shouldn't be. Because as we're seeing tomorrow in Silicon Valley, LA Times has a big piece about this, the new millionaires being minted when the Facebook founders, the original shareholders, are able to sell their stock 180 days later, there's this new wave of prosperity. Now, once again, in Silicon Valley and San Francisco, because all these kids ended up going to work for Facebook. They ended up putting in a lot of time, and some of it was luck, some of it was hard work. But the bottom line is they've become very wealthy, and they're already spending the money.
But here's what I don't get. So Biden's in Ohio, and he's telling people, the folks, all right, that the rich people don't get us. They don't get us. Well, President Obama's with George Clooney. Did he walk into Clooney's house and go, hey, all you rich people paying $40,000 to be here, you don't get me. You don't get Joe. You don't get us. What in God's name, when the Obama administration takes from these people, all right, and then they don't get them? I mean, is it just a selective amount of people who are wealthy that they don't get?
Bill,
Who gets what?
Yeah. Bill, remember he was at the big fundraiser of Obama at I think Steve Schwartzman, the head of the Blackstone Group in New York recently. They had a big fundraiser. John Corzine.
They're always hanging with
troubles,
the fat cats. Always, both of them.
Tons of money they've raised in Silicon Valley, on Wall Street, in hedge funds, among the entertainment elite. And I'm not begrudging them that. That's fine. They want to raise money from people who support their message. So just don't try to demonize or pull this big hyperbolic act
I don't understand any of that. I really didn't understand any of that. I don't know what the point is.
It's not working.
Yeah, I get Joe. Look, I'm a rich guy, Joe. All right, I'm rich. All right, I get you and your family. Scranton, Pennsylvania, I worked there. My first TV job. I got it. I know what happens there. Your father struggled in and out, didn't have a lot of money. I get that. All right, I understand perfectly. You had a nice mom. Your mom and dad encouraged you and your siblings to do the best they could. You made it. I get all that. What don't I understand, Joe? Here's what I don't understand. Why you're exploiting, and you're right, Laura, you're absolutely right. Why you're trying to drive a wedge between some Americans who work hard and others who work hard. Why do you want to drive that wedge, Joe? Is that morally correct to do that? Is that a good thing for America to do? I don't think so.
Yeah, he wants to do that, Bill, because, of course, if he's not doing that, he has to talk about what they've done over the last 3.5 years, much of which is not impressive. Most of it is not impressive on the economic front. So that's the big diversion and distraction game. And again, I think it
doesn't make any sense. Who's buying this? Does the president and vice president actually think that independent Americans, look, there's always been class warfare.
Yeah.
There are always people who are going to not like people with a lot of money, but they're Democrats anyway.
But
they're going to
vote
that way anyway.
Bill,
they need the middle. Who are they going to persuade with this
People
garbage?
want jobs. People in the middle want to get out of the middle or do better, and they want jobs. They're going to be hired by probably not a poor person. They're probably going to be hired by a wealthier person. We want those people to be working together, people applying for jobs, people expanding their workplaces in order for the people in the middle to continue to be able to improve and get better and be able to have a better life for their children. That's what the American dream is. I think deep down, I think Joe Biden gets that, but I think they don't know what to do. I think they are freaking out in the Obama campaign. They're trying to stop ad campaigns by super PACs that haven't even started. They're trying to get everybody all worked up about the war on women. And the bottom line is we're either better off than we were 3.5 years ago or we're not. The middle class is not better off under Obamanomics, as Joe Biden referred to it. And that's something that at some point in this campaign, try as they might not to do it, at some point they are going to have to confront that question. Why is it still Bush's fault, Mr. Vice President? Was that Obamanomics saving us? And if not, then maybe we don't need to give you another 4 years.
All right.
I don't think it's working, Bill.
Laura Ingraham, everybody. Next.